भजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दम् अद्वैतरूपम् निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजे। गणेशं भजे। जय 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 गणनाथ। जय 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 गणनाथ। जय गणनाथ श्री गणनाथ। जय गणनाथ श्री गणनाथ। हे रंबा गणनाथ नाथ। हे रंबा गणनाथ नाथ। हे शिवनंदन पार्वती नंदन। हे शिवनंदन पार्वती नंदन। जय 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 गणनाथ सुंदर श्याम
loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of our ever-present Swami and invoking his presence and welcoming him amidst us. Most revered elders, dear brothers and sisters, a very warm and loving Sai-Ram to all of you. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here in and around the US, and probably this is the last satsang this time. And so I just thought I'll sing a couple of bhajans, especially the second one, which is Aao Aao Nandalala. We are welcoming him into our lives, into our hearts. I remember once Swami in the Trai sessions. So Trai Vrindavan is Swami's home in Vrindavan, in Whitefield near Bangalore, and we would have these beautiful Trai sessions. I don't know how many of you have heard about it or seen about it. There's this beautiful jhula, red color jhula on which Swami would sit. That's the jhula in the Trai Vrindavan. When once when he was speaking to us, he said, "Boys, you have only two choices. Either you allow me to enter into your heart, or I will break open and enter into your heart. But enter I will." Because once we have said yes to Swami, then Swami is always yes, yes, yes. He's Sri Satya Sai, right? You would say SSS is actually yes, yes, yes. Because that's how Swami is. Whatever we say, the Lord is actually like a mirror. Whatever we throw at him, he is only going to reflect it back to us. So if we say yes to Swami, he says yes to us, right? And the reason also I thought, that of course my uncle made a very elaborate introduction in which he said about all these degrees. To me, Swami would often say that the academic degrees we have are like begging bowls. Okay, so the higher the degree you have, the more posher your begging bowl is. Right? You go into the market and say, you know what, I've got the poshest begging bowl in town. I'm an MBA from an Ivy League. Or especially in my case, I always feel I've got a PhD, which Swami would often say, PhD for Swami stood for permanent head damage. PhD, permanent head damage. But also Swami had once given a very beautiful definition of PhD, and that is pure-hearted devotee. And so in that sense, all of us are yearning to be PhDs, right? We all want to be pure-hearted devotees. And so I always, tell myself that you've got the most decorated begging bowl in the world. When you say you're a PhD, you just say you're the best begging bowl. And the more and more I spend time talking to students and all of that, I'm convinced about the fact that, academic success can only get you that far. Right? It can only probably go help you to walk out in the world and get a 6-figure, 7-figure salary. But everything else stands beyond that. And it's really about the spiritual degrees that, we need to get. I remember once, so when Swami asked me to do my PhD, it's a very interesting I really didn't want to do a PhD. I'm not an academically inclined person. Okay, so if you ask me how I got my PhD, I have no idea. It was just Swami told me to do my the PhD, and I somehow struggled and managed to just wriggle out of it, with some kind of success. So it was in January 2004. I was doing my first year MBA, and Swami would often refer to me as Bangalore. He'll just call me Bangalore because I was from Bangalore in the Sevadal and all that. So whenever he would talk to me, he'd say, "Hey, Bangalore," so it means it's me. So he was just talking to a few students, and he was telling the senior students what they should do, guiding them with their career. So Swami has been everything, right? He's been a career counselor, and I'll come to that story another time. How, he actually sees the clarity that you have. So out of the blue, he just said, "Hey, Bangalore, kya karta hai? What are you doing?" So I said, "Swami, now I'm doing my MBA. Iske baad kya karega?" So my idea was always, finish my MBA, and there was no kind of a desire to be in Parthi. I always knew that I could go back to Bangalore and I could be a Sevadal and, kind of join some corporate somewhere and, lead my life just like anyone else would. So the the attraction to be in Parthi was always the physical form of Swami, right? And that's so attractive. You just want to be close to Swami, and you want him to speak to you, and you want to speak to him and touch him and feel him and all of that. So क्या करता है? I said, Swami MBA करता है. इसके बाद क्या करेगा? Right? What will you do after this? He asked me. I said, Swami, I'll be with you. I just want to be with you. And Swami said, बहुत अच्छा. PhD करो, स्वामी के साथ रहो, मौज में रहो. This word मौज, we know it, but I have never heard Swami say this word. मौज में रहो. Which is, and mauj is actually such a beautiful word, because that's what life is all about, right? Mauj mein raho. Always live in utter disregard and kind of a carefree kind of a life. That's what mauj actually means. So I was, okay, so here was Swami's direct, guidance that, okay, Swami, yeah, PhD. So then I sat down there, and then Swami was talking to somebody else, so I was kind of pressing his feet. And after some time again, he looked at me and he says, kya karega? So I just told him, Swami, I told him in Telugu that, Swami, ippade meeru chepparu, just now you said to do PhD, ade chestanu, Swami. Means, because also the reason will, and probably at this point I'll tell you this. So, how Swami is like, or God is like a mirror. Okay? Whatever you reflect, whatever you show into that mirror, he's just going to reflect back. There was one of the brothers, many years back, he was completely confused as to what he should do after MBA. So one day Swami asked him, kya karega? What will you do after MBA? He said, Swami, whatever you say. So Swami said, go. You should become a teacher. You should go and teach very well. Okay, Swami. So he got his instruction. Couple of days later, again Swami comes and asks, kya karega? Swami, whatever you say. Swami said, you should do IFS. Indian Foreign Service. Study properly and you should do IFS. So he was like, okay, teacher to IFS. Again, after a couple of weeks, Swami asked him, kya karega? Swami, whatever you say. Go join your father in business. Okay. So he was like, again, what is this now? A third kind of guidance. And then fourth time, again Swami asked him, kya karega? He said, Swami, whatever you say. And then Swami said, no, see, you should go and you should, one more such kind of, some astronaut or something like that. I don't remember now. But some kind of bizarre kind of, completely unrelated thing. And that was it. He just said, what the hell is happening here? Okay, so the fifth time when Swami called his entire family in for interview, he said, Swami, Swami was asking his parents, kya karega ye ladka? So he said, Swami, what are you doing? Okay, on 4 different occasions you have told me 4 different things. Okay, I don't know what to do. So then Swami said, how? You tell me what you want to do. He said, Swami, if I knew what I wanted to do, why would I ask you? Right, if I had clarity. And so he said, Swami, you have been misguiding me. Okay. And Swami said, you fool, I am not misguiding you. Your mind is in a state of confusion. That is why you are feeling like that. Clear your mind and you will know what is to be done. So then he said, Swami, if I can clear my mind, then why do I need you? Right? If everything is clear in my mind, why do I need you? He said, you need me to get that clarity. You need me. So, Swami is just going to throw confusion at us if we are going to throw confusion at him. So, what he had told at that time was, the first time when Swami told me, to become a teacher, I should have been absolutely convinced that, yeah, this is what Swami wants me to be. But I went back thinking, teacher, huh? No, Swami, I don't want to be a teacher. Oh, you don't want to be a teacher? Fine, then now let's play this game. Right? So when we don't believe that Swami, so every time Swami said, kya karega? His answer was, Swami, whatever you say. But then you are not accepting whatever I say. Right? If you had actually accepted whatever I said, then next time when I asked you, you should have told, Swami, last time you told me to be a teacher. Right? Now I leave it to you, whatever, if there is something else that you want me to be, I accept that. But the first time when you asked me, then you should have been convinced that that is what is good for you. Right? It's such a very subtle kind of a concept. But we actually, we have something going on in our own mind, and then we ask Swami, whatever you say. Oftentimes, we put chits in front of Swami. Okay, and if the chit which we put in front of Swami is not what we want, then we'll do a best of 3. Swami, should I buy this car or should I buy that car? Okay, and that car is actually the car I don't like. So I pick up that and I say, you know what, I don't like this car, so let me do a best of 3. And then even if that doesn't happen, then it becomes best of 5. Okay, right? Because we do not accept what the Lord has to say. We still have our own ideas and our own prejudices and biases. And so then Swami will say, okay, fine. If you are having your own confusion, then I'll add to that confusion. So I had heard the story. So that's why the moment Swami said, kya karega? I said, Swami, you told me to do my PhD. Okay, so I was kind of, probably that is the clarity that Swami had given me, that I am ready to do anything. Because I said, I want to be with you. So the moment I said, Swami, you told me to do my PhD, if you still want me to do my PhD, and the moment I said that, Swami said, hey, PhD university deta hai. The university will give you PhD. Will you do my degree? So the moment he said, will you do my degree, I was completely taken aback. Because now this is entering into the realms of, something else. Then he said, my degree is very tough. Chala tough. Will you do? So the moment he said, just imagine, God himself is telling the Chancellor of the universe himself is saying that my degree is very tough. So I just said, Swami, you have to give me the strength for it. And then Swami said, you do your duty. The strength will automatically come. And so since he had told me, ever since that day, I have really not bothered about my PhD. Okay? The PhD which the university will give. I am more bothered about the degree that he wants me to do. Okay? And on couple of occasions, ever since he has spoken to me, that was in 2004, whenever he would speak to me, somehow, that conversation would be about, I would feel it's linking up to the other degree that he wants. For example, one day in 2006, he just suddenly asked, he was, in Tamil speaking, he was in that mode, the Tamil speaking mood. So he just looked at me and said, pass aaya cha? So I know that much Tamil to know that, Swami is asking, did you pass? Okay, pass aaya cha? He asked. So the moment, he said, pass aaya cha, I just looked at him and said, Swami, Swami, you only know whether I've passed or not. You're the problem. You are the one setting papers. You are the one evaluating. How will I know? And Swami looked at me and said, just this. He did like that and said, and to me, I still don't know what this means. It meant two things. One is, this much more is left to pass and you are not putting in that effort. The second one is, you failed by this much. Either way, it was not a positive thing. You're trying, but, and I remember way back when I was in my 8th class, one day Swami walked up to me. It was the time when, he would choose boys for Kodaikanal. Okay, so Kodaikanal is like the summer retreat of Swami, and Swami will come and just choose a few boys. So he will come very silently and he will speak in the way that only the person who is supposed to know it will know it. Okay, not the person next to him, not the person this side, not the person behind. Nobody will know. Only you will know that. So one day he walks up to me and he just says, Kodaikanal aata hai? Will you come to Kodaikanal? So I just looked at him and said, yes, Swami. Who will say no? Okay, so I said, yes, Swami. And Swami said, come, jump 2 steps you jump. And I still don't know, even to this day, I keep contemplating on that. What was those? So when I tried to get up, Swami said, no, not this. Come, jump. So for me, all of these are the part of that greater degree that I'm doing. All of these little signals that he has given me about, that degree that I need to pass. And so all the time, my contemplation or my personal sadhana is about, what am I doing about that degree? Because, Swami would often say that seek that knowledge, seeking which you will not have to seek anything else. Isn't it? The whole purpose of our, whatever we are doing, whether it's bhajan or seva or dhyana or yajna or yaga, all of that is to get that, getting which I will not need to get anything else. Correct? Oftentimes people ask, so what will happen if I get self-realization? Tell me, what will I get 50% off on, on Costco or something like that? what will happen? So, they say that there are twin objectives of human life, which is, as Vedanta says, is Atyanta Dukkha Nivritti, Paramananda Prapti. These are the only two objectives of human life. Very simple to understand. Atyanta Dukkha Nivritti means intense cessation from intense pain. Okay, Atyanta Dukkha Nivritti, Paramananda Prapti. We all want to get eternal, unbridled, pure joy, bliss. Right? So the next question is, so what will I get if I get bliss? Right? The next question is, so why should I get bliss? Any answers? Why do I want to be blissful? Have you ever thought about it? Means, why are we doing what we are doing? We are doing it to become happy. So what will I get after being happy? Moj, okay, so that's another word of happy, right? But so what? Okay, and here is the answer, or here is the understanding, is you don't get anything. Because that in itself is the destination. Yeah, it is our very nature to be happy. We are just being ourselves. Right? They are not trying to, so oftentimes, okay, so, I see. So I won't get anything, is it? Means, so, it's like saying that, so why do I earn money? Because by earning money, I can buy something else, right? That something else is going to make me happy. So the objective of my life is not to earn money, but to get that, right? Similarly, this happiness is that thing. So I do all of this to get that. Having got that, I don't need to get anything else because that is my destination, right? So I think the pursuit of of this, all the spiritual whatever we do, exercises or sadhana, is only to get that ultimate. So that is pretty much being my my only pursuit. And so all of the other things that are applied to us are what Swami calls as labels, right? All, my name, my nationality, each one of us, right? What we do, whatever is our educational qualifications, all of these are labels which have been added on to us ever since we are born. And the purpose of whatever we are doing is to remove all the labels. So I am Ameya, I am an Indian, I am a Brahmin, I am from Maharashtra, I am MBA, I am PhD, I earn so much. All of these are labels which have been put onto me. Right? The whole idea is to remove as many labels as songs which I can sing, or you want to hear some experiences. If you can let me know, then that will help me to give you better customer satisfaction.
I have a question about what you just said. So is it like, then you say I am so and so, so and so, so and so, and then you say I am blissful? No, because isn't it like when you take away all the other labels, it's not something you're getting, it is something that you are.
Absolutely,
already, right?
yes. So that's why Swami says I am, right? I am, I just am, right? So there's a very interesting story. One person, it seems one Shethji, a businessman, he walks up to a Swamiji and says, Swamiji, I'm so frustrated, I'm so depressed, do something, give me something, which I can remove my frustration with. And the Guruji just says, no, you are not frustrated. You are the knower of your frustration. Come to think about it, is that not true? I am when I say I am angry, I am not angry. I am Amey Deshpande. Right? I am the knower of my anger. When I say I am very angry, actually what is happening is I am the knower of my anger. Correct? So actually I am the knower. Okay? This is what Mandukya Upanishad says. Okay? This is simply the simplest way of putting it. Okay? That I am simply the knower of my anger. So he says, so you are not frustrated. Okay, you are the knower of your frustration or your depression. Okay, so he says, go contemplate on this. So the Shethji goes and then he thinks about it and he comes back and he says, he gets clarity. He says, wow, yeah, that's so true. And so he comes back after a couple of days, a couple of weeks, he comes back to his Guruji and says, Guruji, amazing, thank you so much. I am so peaceful now. And Guruji says, no, you are the knower of your peace. You are not peaceful, you are simply the knower of your peace. So what are you? You are simply the knower. Okay, I am. Okay, that is pretty much the kind of summum bonum of all that we try and achieve in our lives, which is simply to know that I am. Okay, and that I is not this, this whatever body that we see, but that by which the body is able to see. That power by which the body is able to see, the eye is able to see, the ear is able to hear, etc., etc. And that is pretty much what Keno Upanishad says. And in fact, I feel if anyone is interested, you must read the Upanishads, because I think they are probably the highest synthesis of human thought ever. Okay, it cannot get more scientific and more logical than what is mentioned in the Upanishads, and they are pretty simple to understand. This is simply what Mandukya Upanishad and Keno Upanishad says. Anyway, let me not go into that. So anything else that you would like to hear, or some specific thing? Because it always helps to, because I can just see I am a yapper. I get paid to yap back in the university, and when I have students in my class, it's like I have the license to do whatever I want. So sometimes it is the subject, then suddenly students say, sir, today not the subject, just tell us something about Swami, and so so we have the license to do whatever we want. So I would rather like to use my license the way you want me to use the license. Yeah.
So when you are not able to decipher what he told you, do you struggle to try and decipher it on your own, or have you accepted the fact that he will decipher it for you at the right time, at the right place, and you don't have to do anything?
It's a bit of both. So when I decipher that answer, that I is actually he only. Right? There's no difference between I and he. Maybe I'll tell you another, like how he told me this.
Until
so yeah, that
comes.
That's all. That is our spiritual sadhana. That is, see, we cannot say that he will come and do whatever, and so I don't need to think about it, and whenever it has to come, it will come. Spiritual sadhana, in my understanding, okay, and I have a very powerful role model for that, and that is Mother Shabari. Okay, probably the most beautiful example we have in our epics. All of you have heard of Mother Shabari? Yeah. Just to give you, Mother Shabari, when she was a little child, when she was getting married, she actually ran away from her wedding as the 7 the Saptapadis was done, and the 7 rounds. She ran away from the wedding, okay, and she went to her Gautama Muni's ashram, and she served for many years. She served her guru, and then her guru says that I'm very happy with you, for all the beautiful seva that you have done. One day you will have the Lord's darshan. And then he packs off, meaning he takes a samadhi and he goes off. So the first thought I was thinking is, if you knew that God is going to come, why won't you stick around? Right? Why did Gautam Muni not stick around? And imagine now the predicament of Shabari. Boss, you told me I will see, and you only packed off. Now you have left me high and dry. Right? At least stick around with me to show me who he is. Right? You've given me you will get 100% discount. But in which shop? Right? Where am I going to get a discount? Or where am I going to get the best deal? You just told me you will get the best deal. Okay, so now the search starts. What did she do? For the next 14 years, not 14 days or 14 hours or weeks or months. For 14 years, every single day, right, she would, all the paths leading to her home, she would take flowers and put them. Okay, maybe this is the path that he will take. Maybe this is the path that he will take. She would clean up every single stone on which possibly Rama would sit. She didn't even know it was Rama. Right? And then she would, we know that, right? It's such a beautiful, she would taste every fruit and see whether, on a daily basis, is this the fruit he's going to eat? I should, select the sweetest of fruits so that eventually when he comes, I'll be able to give it to him. Not one day, 14 years. Okay? And so, oftentimes I think, imagine if I was Shabari. Okay? Imagine after the 12th year, I would have said, pack off, man. If you don't want to come, these many years already I've done it. You know what, if you don't want to come, don't come. I'm not bothered. Enough I've done. Oftentimes we do like that with our spiritual sadhana, right? We do something, we do bhajans for 25 years. Nothing happened. I do dhyanam and we go back and we say, I have been rolling the rosary beads for like 1,000,000 times and nothing has happened. guess what? Even for Shabri also, nothing happened. Imagine 2 days before Rama came, or 1 day before Rama came, she would have given up, saying, enough, I cannot do it anymore. And imagine if the Lord would have come the next day. How terrible she would have felt. She can't then say to Rama, why you came today, yaar? You should have come yesterday. Till yesterday, for 14 years everything was ready. Could she have told that to Rama? No, right? No, right? She couldn't have told that to Rama. But she did it every single day. Guess what was her... Imagine, so that day when Rama came, what was the gift that she got? Direct visa. Right? Rama just comes and blesses her and she cries, she washes his feet with her tears. And then Swami says, now she says, I'm ready to go. And Rama says, yes, I bless you. And she gets liberated. Right? So nothing happened for 14 years. And then everything happened in 1 day. Right? It is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa so beautifully says, to remove 1 million years of darkness, you need but 1 second of light. It is not that for 2 million years of darkness you need 2 seconds of light. And for 3 million you need 3 seconds of light. How much ever darkness is there, you need but 1 spark of light. So now if you compare by that, what is our spiritual sadhana? Is to, so I often use this, so my head and my heart are like dark dungeons. Correct? There has been no, that Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya, we say. Ajnana is full of, there in the head and the heart. Right? It is full of darkness. Okay? Now what is my job? My spiritual sadhana is to ensure that the wick and the lamp and the oil is ready every day. I don't know when he wants to come and light the lamp. But imagine, I keep the lamp and wick and everything ready, and then finally in utter exasperation after 20 years I give up, and that is the day he wants to come and light the lamp. Like how he did for Shabri. So he says, Arya, Papam, this fellow put in so much effort. Chalo, today I'll go and I'll light the lamp. And then he comes to light, oh, there is no wick. Oh, okay, fine. Let me go light somebody else's lamp. Right? I can't say, wait, I won't know when he wants to do that. Right? So my job every day, and our job as spiritual sadhakas, is to keep that lamp ready every day. And then, Uddharet Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadayat, he says, right, in Bhagavad Gita. So Atma itself knows when it has to reveal itself. So, my job would be to make all that preparation so that eventually the Lord feels compassionate on me. He feels compassion on me and says, Chalo yaar, ye bhi kya meri yaad rakhega. Chal iski aaj mauj laga dete hain. And then he comes and lights the lamp out of utter compassion for me. Right? That is why we say Pangum Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Yat Kripatam Aham Vande. Paramananda. It is absolutely out of His grace alone. But then what is His grace will come when human effort. Swami would often say, right? God's grace comes only with human effort. So human effort and God's grace, that is the lethal combination. Right? That is why even the last shloka in Bhagavad Gita is Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. So Dhanurdhara, actually Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara is human effort, and Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna is divine grace. So where there is a combination of divine grace and human effort, Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhutir Dhruva Nitir, right? He says that is where victory comes. So, just to answer the question is, so do I have any role to play? Yes, I have to put in all my effort. So that is my, that is what I need to do on a daily basis. But then you also need the Lord's grace to eventually come and, to do it. So it's a combination. Oh, did it make sense?
Just one more question, then I won't ask any more questions. Like others. So, till that clarity comes, the period of confusion, how do you sustain yourself? I'm not saying in terms of a job or money.
Yeah.
The mind is going to go through a lot of restless agitation.
Absolutely.
Right? Because he's pricked you.
Yes.
He's provoked you.
Yes.
In a positive sense. So how do you cope with that?
So confusion is actually a very good thing, sir. And here I would like to give another analogy, and that is where I feel our Shastras and Puranas help us so much, in the Kurma avatar, we know about the Dasha avatars, right? The Kurma avatar is all about the Sagar Manthan, right? Which is the churning of the milk ocean, right? And the Mandara Parvat right, the big mountain, the Mandar mountain, is used as a churning, what do you call that? Churning rod, okay, between the forces of evil, which is the Asuras, and the divine forces, which are, right, the Devas, right? Do all the children know about the story? The Kurma Avatar story? You know it? So who wins? Who wins at the end?
The Devas.
Right? And what do they get?
They get the nectar.
Wow, yes, the nectar of immortality. Fantastic. Right? But what is the first thing that came out of that when it started? Poison. Right? Now just for a moment, no, just flip that around, that whole analogy into our own lives. Every moment there is a churning happening inside of us, between the good and the bad. Right? Between the Iha and the Para. Between the Para or the Apara, as whatever name you would call it, the secular and the spiritual, whichever name you call it, the outwardly and the spiritual, I leave it to you. So there's always this churning. And in fact, I would say that the greatest thing that a guru does to us is to start the churning process. Right? If for a long time we were like dormant idiots, right? We were just sleeping till Swami walked into our lives. And oftentimes, this churning process can be such a painful process that oftentimes in my life, and I'll be very candid with you when I say this, I always wonder, Swami, why the hell did you walk into my life? I could have just been a street dog, barking away and running behind cars. That's what a street dog does, right? It just has the best time in the world. Barking and roaming around wherever it wants, okay, running behind every car. Okay, in fact, Swami often says that, he often says, you fellows are like dogs. He used to call students like that when he gets angry. Because he used to say, these street dogs, they simply run behind a car. If you actually stop the car and ask, what do you want? It will look, I don't know. It just walks out. Have you ever seen that? In India, especially, you come to Patti and try to drive at around 2 a.m. We have done enough of that. The dog, the moment some car comes, it will start running. Okay, and the only way to stop the dog running is you stop. The moment you stop, the dog also stops. And then it just walks off. So you ask, you want to ask, what do you want? I don't know. You were running, so I was running. That's pretty much how we are in this world. This whole world is like a mirage. And we are running behind it with all our strength. And when the whole world stops and asks, what do you want? I'm just a mirage. I don't have anything with me. Oh, okay. I'll run behind something else. Right? So, oftentimes I used to say that, Swami, now you have given me this conscience and you prick me from inside. I can't do anything wrong. Automatically I know that, I'm watching you. So sometimes in that utter frustration of, making mistakes, sometimes this stupid thought comes to my mind. Right? But that is the churning process. So the moment a guru walks into your life or you dedicate yourself to a guru, he starts this churning process. Okay. And the beauty of that is that in the first thing that happens in the churning, is hala, is poison. You will go through absolute hell in your life. Because, that discrimination process has started now. Right? Do I do this or do I do this? Do I choose this or do I choose this? Okay. So that is the part where, that poison is coming out. Okay, and unless all of that comes out, you cannot get the nectar of immortality. The first thing that has to come out is the poison. Right? You cannot, and the churning doesn't stop because the poison has come out. Right? But our objective was to get the nectar. So imagine as the nectar is you want the nectar and you're wondering, why the hell is poison coming here? Exact opposite of nectar. Right? So when the churning process has started, you're wondering, I wanted something else. I'm getting this. And the only thing is at that time, okay, the Lord comes and becomes a support for you. He becomes the kurma. He becomes that support. He says, no, go on, my child. Go on, I am with you. I am supporting you. You may not see me. Right? Nobody saw the kurma. The Lord just came and became this tortoise under that mountain because the mountain was going down. He just came and became the support for that. Right? So the churning goes on. And guess what? After the hala, immediately the nectar doesn't come. After that, all other things come. Right? Kamadhenu came out of that. Kalpavriksha came out of that. Lakshmi herself came out of that churning process. What is the inner significance of this? that once you overcome that initial journey, that that hala hala, then you start to get name, fame. Okay, your spiritual progress has started. Then you will have people like this, and after the talk, you will come and say, "Oh, fantastic, man! You're doing an awesome job." Okay, and then I'll start thinking that, "Wow, I'm actually growing, man." Spiritually, people will come and then take selfies with you. Believe me, that is what happens. Okay, and then the Lord is asking you, are you still focused? This is not what you wanted. You wanted the nectar of immortality. Right? So Lakshmi starts to come to you, wealth comes to you, name, fame comes, whatever you say. So today probably if I say, I want some $10,000, I'm sure some of you will come and say, please take. Lakshmi comes. But that's not the purpose of why I started the journey process. Right? There was only one purpose for starting the journey process. That is for the nectar of immortality. Everything else is byproducts. Everything else is incidental to my journey. But the beauty of this hala hala is that there is someone to drink this hala hala also. I don't have to drink it. Right? If I am able to surrender, Lord, I don't know why this confusion is coming. Lord says, don't worry, that's my job. Right? I will drink the hala hala for you. I will drink the poison for you. Okay, so just let go. You let go of everything. So give up the hala hala, give up the Lakshmi, give up the Kamadhenu, give up the Kalpataru. You focus only on the Amrita, the nectar of immortality that comes out. Right? So I think confusion is a good thing. We just have to thoda aur. And he loves to do that. He loves to see us in confusion. Believe me, like Swami would often, during some of the most darkest moments in our life, as students, or dark, I won't say darkest, but some of the most low moments where you actually want him to speak to you physically, that's when he will not speak to you. We will enjoy the closeness, the physical closeness, and when you get the physical closeness, you will get so much of the physical closeness, and you will wonder, what did I do, man? Why are you talking to me every day? You will kind of say, boss, don't talk to me every day. I mean, there are so many others, talk to them. But no, he will come and speak only to you. Okay, and so much so that you will start wondering, why, Swami? Okay, and then a time will come when, troubles start to come into your life. And then you sit in darshan line and he won't look at you. And you will wonder, why did you speak then? Yeah, now I want to speak. But that's not the game. The game is to now, it's like that the dream of that person who walked on the sands of time. That there's a very beautiful short story. I was walking on I dreamt, a man dreamt of that walking on the shores of time. Okay, and you saw his entire life, and there were two sets of footprints. Okay, one was mine and one was the Lord's. And then as I saw that during the most difficult moments of my life, there was only one set of footprints. And so I cried out to God saying, Lord, why did you desert me during my tough times? And the Lord says, you fool, I was actually carrying you. Those are my footprints. Those are my footprints. I was carrying you on my shoulder. Okay, when you are going through that. So we are not capable of doing, to understand His divine design. But rest assured, full faith, full trust that, He is the one who is carrying us all the time. Yeah. So have that faith, and whatever confusion and all that will just disappear, just like the clouds go and the sunlight starts to shine brightly.
I have a question. So what do you do exactly when you are confused? Because pretty much every day we all get confused at some point or other. So do you just drop everything and pray, or write a letter, or what do you do?
I would say it's like, it's whatever you're comfortable with. So see, this is sadhana. Unfortunately, it's not cut, copy, paste. You can't copy paste my sadhana. Okay, so no, and even I can't do that. Huh? I also cannot copy paste your sadhana. You need to find that, and that is probably the only thing that you need to do as a sadhana. Find that with which you can go closer. We used to go to Badrinath. In fact, this is the first year that I have not gone to the Himalayas, because often in my vacation I go to the Himalayas, because I had got instruction from Swami in a dream to visit Himalayas every year. So when we used to go to Himalayas, especially to Badrinath, there was one Hanuman Baba there, and in fact there are so many Swamijis there. So So what we do is we generally go for a trek, like a hike. So as we are hiking, on the way you will find so many Swamijis, So just stand and talk to some Swamiji, So oftentimes what used to happen is there is one in Badrinath especially, there is one Hanuman Baba. So as soon as you reach the Badrinath temple, look on the left hand side. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look on the left hand side and you will find right on the top of the mountain, you will find one ashram with one red flag. Okay, so that is Hanuman Baba. He's called Hanuman Baba because he propitiates Hanuman. And very small cave. He has two caves. One is where he sleeps and does all his daily ablutions and all that. One cave is his cave for meditation. So he generally spends the whole day in the meditation cave. So a couple of times we have gone, and the moment he hears, hey, Puttaparthi ki log aa gaye hain, he'll say, he's so happy to see people from Puttaparthi. So he'll invite us into his cave and we will be sitting with him. Okay, and so we thought he does this to everybody. Okay, but he will say, so he'll ask, आप कहाँ से आ गए? Somebody else comes, मैं दिल्ली से आया. हाँ ठीक है, प्रसाद लो चलो. He doesn't entertain anybody else. But if you say you are a Sai devotee, okay, मैं भगवान के इसमें come in. Because he says, you Sai devotees, I see a different sparkle in you. He is not a Swami. Of course, there is a photograph of Swami in his altar. Along with Hanumanji, there is one Swami photograph also. So when we had met him, we had asked him. So all of these Swamijis, they are not like me. Okay, they are not like yappers. They will just be sitting, and you just sit with them. Okay, so you can't hold it, right? If all of us were just to sit over here, it's like being in presence of Dakshinamurti. It's like kind of a killing, deathly silence. So I just asked him, Swamiji, आप क्या साधना करते हैं? जो मेरे गुरु ने बोला है मैं वही करता हूँ. Whatever my guru has told me, I do that. So okay. So हम क्या साधना करें? जो आपके गुरु ने बोला है वो आप. Whatever your guru has told you, you do. Okay. So then he says, but can you share with me? No. He says, no, that I cannot do. Your sadhana is what your guru has given. My sadhana is what my guru has given me. He would say that. And that kind of gave more and more clarity, because we want to know, that fast life that we have, right? That 2-minute Maggie, and it's so much of that is in our mind that yaar, 2 bhajan mein nipta sakta hu to nipta dunga. If I can finish it off in 2 minutes, let's just do it. Let's get self-realization out of the way. Right? Because I want to achieve something else. That's why I made that point before. There's nothing to achieve after self-realization. Right? So it's about that. It is about finding your own little thing. So what I generally do is, my prayer to Swami is, Swami, I'll just do what I want to do. If you think this is not right for me, put obstacles. You put obstacles, I will know that I'm not on the right track. So then I'll do plan B, plan C, or I'll go on a different way. So my prayer every day is, Swami, I will do what I'm supposed to do, because you have always told me you do your duty. So the answer to me was, no duty chahi. You do your duty. Okay? And the strength will come. So if I'm not doing my duty, then you put obstacles. You stop me from doing that. So then I'll know, oh, Swami does not want me to do this. So then I will do something else. So that is how I generally, I'm sharing with you. And I generally, Namasmarana is like my favorite pastime to do. Okay, like anything happens, I would always, say that have a beautiful conversation with Swami. Just blast him and, bang him with whatever you want, because he's there for that. He's our personal God. There is no other God as personal as him. Right? Bash him up, fight with him, shout with him, argue with him, enjoy with him, celebrate with him, just do everything, do it with Swami. Okay, why the hell is this happening, Swami? You are responsible, tell him. He cannot take, he also has an ego, right? His ego is the biggest ego in the universe. So he gets pained then, he gets hurt. So then he'll start doing good things for you. Because, right, he loves to be, that is why, in Bible, that's why he's called the jealous God. Because he's jealous the moment his child goes running behind the world. The Lord is asking, hey, what is lacking in me? Mere mein kya kami hai? Why are you not running behind me? Why are you running behind the world? He's jealous of the world, it seems. Very beautiful. I felt this was such a beautiful thing. Why he's called the jealous God is because he's jealous that after giving you everything, I have given you and you are running behind the world. Hey, run behind me. Right? So that is how I would kind of say. But yeah, you can discover your own little, and it will be a very personal thing. It will just be between you and Swami and nobody else.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So since you had such a close physical relationship with Swami, so after he left his body, how do you kind of deal with that? Like, do you always feel his presence? Do you, like, how do you?
See, so Swami, very early in my life itself, Swami kind of let me know that that's not the Swami that, so I always had two Swamis. Okay, and they would very often conflict with each other. One is my own personal internal Swami. And that Swami loved me and continues to love me and will continue to love me. This external Swami, he had little issues with me. Okay, means there were days when he wouldn't speak to me and I didn't like that Swami at that time. So there were days when he wouldn't talk to me. In fact, why days? A majority of my life was when he did not talk to me. Okay, I'm not one of those Satyajit kind of people who lived with Swami, right? Believe me. So let me share something. What Satyajit Bhaiya told. Okay, and this is so powerful. So Satyajit Bhaiya, we all know who Satyajit is. He stayed, yeah.
I don't know.
So Satyajit Bhaiya is like 5 years senior to me. And he lived with Swami in Swami's Yajur Mandir and Purnachandra and you name it. Okay, he lived with Swami, he served Swami physically till Swami left from 1998. Okay, Swami, he went inside Purnachandra and then eventually into Yajur Mandir. Okay, since 1998 till 2011. Right, ask him how difficult it would have been. Somebody who you see every day. When that person is no more, right, then that kind of hits. He was telling that in 1998 when he went inside, we call it like he went inside to serve, that is, he moved to Purnachandra Auditorium. He moved as Swami's co-resident, right? So Swami would sleep on the bed and he'll be sleeping down. He was telling that for 1,000 days after he moved in, Swami didn't speak to him. Can you imagine that? So when he told us that, I said, come on, don't gas. How can Swami not speak to you? You are with him inside. And he says, believe me, brother, I'm telling you, Swami did not speak to me for 1,000 days. That is close to 3 years. So I said, but that doesn't make sense because we saw you sitting with Swami in the car and whenever Swami would go to Vrindavan or back from Vrindavan to Parthi, you were the one who was seated next to Swami in the car. Said, I will tell you, during those times, when Swami would drive for 3.5 hours from Bangalore to Parthi and Parthi to Bangalore, Swami wouldn't speak a word with him for 3.5 hours. Isn't that worse? You're sitting next to this guy and this guy treats you like furniture piece. Like a glass case looking through you. Right? He went through that for 1,000 days. And he said that his greatest learning experience was during those 1,000 days. Not when Swami spoke to him. Because he said every night he would sleep and he would cry because Swami was not speaking to him. Okay, and he would say, maybe tomorrow is my last day. Tomorrow Swami will ask me to go, leave. Because that's how it has happened with all other people who have been very, very close to Swami in Swami's servitude. So just one fine day for no reason Swami will say, today enough. Ippudu chalu. Means you can go. Swami, why? You will not even have a chance to ask him why. That's it. No questions asked. Means because you never asked him, why did you take me on service, right? So there are no contractual obligations. It's not like an employee saying, why did you fire me, man? He says, yeah, because I never gave you an offer letter. So I can fire you at will. So you never asked why I was close to you. So don't ask me why you are far away from me. Right? So he was saying every night he would think maybe tomorrow is my last day. And then you say, so if I go from here, then what will I become? So he said, I'll probably go back to Bombay. He was from Bombay. And then I'll become maybe some banker. And then, I'll do very well in the bank. And then I'll get promotion. Then I'll become this and I'll become that. I'll become vice president and then vice, etc., etc. And then you would say, yeah, but you know what? It's such a horrible life it will be without Swami. Right? So he said, and he used to sleep off. He said during that whole period, he lived several lives. He lived several scenarios. Every night he would build a scenario saying maybe I'll become this. And they said, no, but that does not compare to this. There is nothing in comparison to what I'm getting now. So I don't want to become that. I don't want to become this. I don't want to become this. I don't want to become this. And slowly but surely, that absolute internal, faith in that, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be with Swami. That kind of kept getting strengthened and, solidified, concretized. And so I personally believe that when Swami does not speak to you, and when Swami, you are not in Swami's physical presence, those are actually the best times of your life. Because that is when the churning process starts. That is when the questioning, Swami, am I close to you? Am I close to you? Is this what you want me to do? Because believe me, when you are physically close to Swami, he'll be talking to you probably the most mundane things. He'll come and say, what did you eat today? Chutney, how did this chutney? So, our Vice Chancellor would say, so Vice Chancellor, right, he's a, what should I say, he's like an official figure. So Swami would sign off on all the checks, all the trust checks. So he needs to take the, the checks to Swami to get it signed. So sometimes he would want extra money for something. Okay, so he would want to make a presentation to Swami, kind of justifying why he wants that extra money. So Swami won't even give him an opportunity. Okay. So, we wanted some consumable, we wanted some item for the institute, the Department of Chemistry, not me, but the Department of Chemistry. So they kept asking, sir, we want this. So he said, wait, I'm not getting a chance, to ask Swami. And we were like, what? Every evening you're going and having dinner with Swami? He says, yeah, what to do? I sit over there and I want to ask him about, this equipment that we want to buy. And Swami will say, how is chutney? Do you know what it is made of? Okay, and then you have to, Swami, I think it's made of coconut and this. No, actually, if you put that more and this less, it will get another taste. And this is how the conversation will go. And so at that time you will be like frustrated, wondering, okay, but Swami knows best. Right? He knows exactly when what has to happen. So you just go with it. Just go with the flow. And at the right time, suddenly out of the blue, Anil Kumar sir, Swami's translator, for his own daughter's wedding, he says, probably I'm the worst father any child could have. Because he was with Swami, his daughter's wedding was fixed, Swami knew about it, and he never got a chance to say, to tell Swami or remind Swami, I need to go. I need to go for my daughter's wedding. The whole organization, he says, was sitting and getting everything ready in Guntur. Okay, and his wife, she was like banging him on the phone, saying, tell Swami. He says, I tried to tell. Okay, so he says, at least for Kanyadanam you have to come, nobody else can do Kanyadanam. Means we will do everything, we'll put up the mandap, we will feed the people, we will get jewelry, we will do all the purchases. At least for the ceremony you have to come. He said, I have told Swami, Swami knows what is best. Okay, so just see this. So he says, week after week, the day was coming closer and Swami wouldn't talk anything, about this to Anil Kumar sir. Previous evening, the next morning is the wedding. The previous evening, Swami says, hey Anil Kumar, what are you doing here? Your wedding, your daughter's wedding is tomorrow. He says, yeah, I know. And Swami says, take this. Okay, Swami gives him prasadam and sends him by Swami's car. In Swami's car, Swami sends him for the wedding. And after, the rest is history, so to say. So Swami knows what time to do everything. Once we get that, that faith that he knows best, he chose to move away from us physically for a particular reason. And let us accept it. right? Accept. So Swami would say, love my uncertainty. You have often heard this. Far from loving his uncertainty, we don't even accept his uncertainty. We dislike his uncertainty because we want certainty in our life, right? So how will you know Swami's presence in your life? I can tell you one. When there's uncertainty in your life, know that Swami is around. Means when things start to get murky and confusing, now you have come. It's a beautiful exercise to do, The moment when there's a lot of chaos happening in your life, just step back and say, now you have come into my life. Enjoy that. Love that uncertainty. Because then you know that his plans are in place. They are in work. He is doing everything behind the scenes. Because we are just not capable of doing it. Because I did this, but this happened. I tried this, but that happened. Right? How many times in our lives have we seen that effort has got nothing to do with outcome? Sometimes this much effort and that much outcome. Sometimes that much effort and this much outcome. So effort and outcome have pretty much almost nothing. Very rarely do they have any proportional relationship. Direct proportional relationship. It's often, that means there is some other play at hand. That play is his play. Right? So coming back to, after how do you deal with Swami's physical absence is, Swami is not physically, he's not absent at all. Yeah, he is here. Right? Just hold on to that Swami. Right? Otherwise, tell me, all the saints that we know in our history, did they have physical proximity with Swami? Or with any god? And here is oftentimes that when Swami would hear Tyagaraja songs or Mirabai songs, which we all would sing, and then he will have tears in his eyes and he would be like so much in bliss. This thought I got, Swami, you know what? You made an avataric blunder. Your avatar was wrong. Why? Because when Tyagaraja was around on this earth, that is the time you should have taken birth, no? Yes or no? Right? That would have been the best time for you as well as for him. Right? He is singing to his God is loving his devotee. Kya baat hai? When Mirabai was around in this world, you should have taken birth in Rajasthan. Avataric blunder. You came now when those people are not around. And then you ask us to sing their songs, and then you think of them and cry. What an hour,
But don't you also see that more as kind of, if you look at Sagunapasana, Nirgunapasana, the yearning is much more. I mean, obviously, even with Swami's kind of, physical presence to not, obviously he's a Hridaya Nivasi, but then it's like it's very different.
It's exactly the point. That in fact, and this is the point that Swami himself told in our Kodaikanal, in 2005, I had the golden opportunity to go with Swami to Kodai. Kodaikanal is like a summer retreat. I think I told you about it. So it's like a hill station. So only about 35 boys will be there. And so there was 2005. So Swami had already fallen, and he would take somebody's support to walk. So every day, he would take somebody else's support. It was like a chance for each one of us. So today Swami is you. So then we get to hold Swami's hand, and it's a beautiful chance. So one day he had one of my brothers, he got a chance to hold Swami's hand, and so he's taking Swami, and as he's waving through all of us and taking Swami, Swami is looking at all of us and telling, lucky, no? Swami is telling us, looking at that boy, manchi chance, very good chance. Okay, So, because all of us actually, that's the thought in my mind, today lucky fellow, yeah. But Swami is only kind of, very good chance, right? So all of us just smiled back at Swami. And Swami said, and suddenly then Swami's face became serious. And Swami said, Kani iti mukhyam kadu. Swami said, but this is not important. That is, holding Swami's hand is not important. Swami said, yearning to hold my hand is more important than holding my hand. Because, and just see the beauty of that, yearning to hold Swami's hand, everybody can do. Holding Swami's hand, only few people can do. And God can never be partial. Right? God can never be, He cannot say that, what, I like your singing little more, so I'll give you more chance. Then in which case only Lata Mangeshkar will probably find a place in heaven. and Ravi Kumar Bhaiya. I often tell. And coming to even bhajan singing also, oftentimes, just imagine if the quality of your singing decided how close you are to Swami, okay, then people like me and all will always be in third, fourth row. Right? Because imagine if it is like Giridhara Nagar Kunja Vihari. Kya baat hai? Special place. You sing Gopala. Hey, this is not good enough. So do you really think the complexity of bhajan decides how much in heaven we are going to be? No, right? It cannot work like that. It is stupid for us to think that. So when somebody says that, I should try that bhajan. Why here? You try it because you want to appease your own ego. Okay, and get a few pats on the back and people coming up and telling us that, we are awesome singers. That's all. That equation with Swami has got nothing to do with the complexity of the bhajan or how well we are singing. It is the feeling that we have in heart. That's the only worthwhile, thing to do. But also, that doesn't mean that everybody should try all bhajans. Huh? Because we want to not only try bhajans, the tougher bhajans, we want to try it in public. At home, I should be actually very happy singing Giridhar Nagar even at home, right? Because that is my heart-to-heart connection. But I don't want to try it there. I want to try it in Samiti. That is, when I come to the center, I want to try because then 5 people will come and pat me on the back. Right? Because otherwise, it's not that Swami comes only in the center and Swami doesn't come home. Right? Swami is there very much. So you can sing actually whatever you want. But the bigger responsibility when we sing in the Samiti is, we are helping so many other people connect to Swami. So Swami would often say a singer is like a conduit. Okay, means he is using his bhajan is the vehicle on which others' prayers rest and they reach Swami. And therefore, a bhajan singer, Swami would say, can be a saint or a sinner. Swami would often come and ask, are you a singer or a sinner? He'll play with words.
Change the G into an N.
Yes, that's right. He changed the G into an N.
Just one letter difference.
Yeah, nice. So what do you want to be, singer or sinner?
Singer.
Singer, yes. But Swami would say, so a singer can become a saint if people are able to connect to God when he sings. Okay, the same singer can become a sinner when that bhajan does not help the others to connect to God. So now while bad singing also will not help connect to God, extra bit of good singing also will not help connect to God, because the moment I sing something like Madhuvana Sanchare, kya baat hai? The moment the kya baat hai comes, no, God is also asking kya baat hai? Right? The bhajan was meant to connect with me. Tu kya kar raha hai? Right? So that is the purpose of. I think coming back to the question is, Swami has given us so much to connect with him, right? His discourses, his bhajans. So I personally, and my sister always tells me, you are in a state of denial. You don't believe, because I don't believe Swami has left. I genuinely believe even to this day, he is resting inside Yajur Mandir, inside interview room. And one day that door will open. And just like Shabari, I will wait for that day. And my God has to come for me. Because that is his bounden duty. He's got nothing else to do in this world. But to come and show his darshan to all of us. Right? That is his job. My job is to pray. Pray like a dog, like a donkey, like anything. Okay, but pray and pray and pray. So in fact what I do is I do the visualization process. So every day when I stand opposite to the interview room, when I'm just entering into bhajan hall, I just close my eyes and I feel that door opening. Because that would be the most magical time as we students wait for that door to open. That handle, from inside Swami would have opened it, so from outside we will see that handle opening. And that's when all those things start to happen. Is he going to blast me? Is he going to, what is he going to do today? Kind of thing. So that excitement, is what I want to keep in my heart every single day. So I just close my eyes and I feel that door opening one day, and he will, he'll walk out. And I did have a dream also about it. I won't tell you that dream, but yeah. After Samadhi, I had a dream. Anything else?
So how do you see
Would you-
pardon me.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself kind of, clearly, those of you who had the instructions and the guidance from Swami, the students who clearly have come up and now got to be faculty or serving at Prashanthi Nilayam, how do you see yourself as this as torch bearers, kind of the Sai legacy, especially for those who even now are seeking, admission at the Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, for example, who might not even have seen Swami
True.
in physical body? How do you see that kind of, evolve?
Okay, so I personally feel that, we are, that is me, I am not anybody to hold Swami's legacy up. Right? It is said
You're
that,
doing a
when,
good job so far here.
it's said, that when Krishna, he lifted the Govardhana Giri, so such a beautiful story. When he lifted the Govardhana Giri, the little Krishna lifted the entire Govardhana mountain on the little finger of his left hand. बाएं हाथ का खेल है, we say this is like my left hand job, not even hand, his small finger. Okay, so Krishna is lifting the entire Govardhana Giri on the small finger of his left hand to show that it means nothing to me. Okay, what happened during that time? When the Govardhana mountain was held, all the other people in the village, they came and put their sticks. That Lord, I also want to support you with my own stick. Okay, because I want to take a little burden off you. And so Krishna said, oh, is it? And so he just reduced the thing and all sticks broke. Tapa, all sticks broke. Okay? And I personally believe holding on to Swami's legacy, thank you so much, brother, you will keep getting glasses like this. Right? We trying to lift Swami's legacy is like putting that stick over there. He is holding the entire world in his hand. We just have to bask in that glory and remember that he is holding it and not us. And that is why, in fact, whenever we sing Giridhari, alright, let us picturize this in our hand. That is why, Mangala Arati Anduko, Mandara Giridhari is the next word. And I often used to wonder why, simply for alliteration, did he put that word over there, It sounds good, yeah? Mangalam Arati Anduko, and after that, Mandara Giridhari, put up. No. Why is it that I am giving Arati to you? Why, please accept my Mangal Arati. When we say Mangal Arati Anduko, we are saying please accept my Mangal Arati. Why? Because you are holding the entire burden of my life onto your hands. Mandara Giridhari, you are lifting the entire mountain in your hand. Right? Am I not supposed to praise you for that? Thank you so much, Swami, for you are holding all my burdens. Right? That is why, and this is the thought that comes to my mind when I sing Mandara Giridhari. And for that matter, every time Giridhari, the word Giridhari is said, that's what comes to my mind. That he is lifting. So, one way to, coming to bhajans, one way is to actually think of that Leela. And the Leela in itself also is a very beautiful, way to, how do I get bhava in a bhajan? One is to actually, to know the meaning of the bhajan, the meaning of every word in the bhajan, Damodara, Janardana, Keshava, Madhava, to know the story behind the word, the meaning of the word. But I think if we can enhance the experience of bhajans, if we are able to put our own little story along with that. So if I am able to remind myself that every time I went through trouble, how Swami pulled me out, and at that time he was my Giridhari. And he continues to be my Giridhari. Right? So every time I sing something like, shall we sing one bhajan?
Yeah. Could you please sing Amba Mandahas?
Amba Mandahas. Can I tell you one story of Amba Mandahas?
Please.
So I like to make a lot of, I think I am a good storyteller. So I like to tell myself stories. So with Amba Mandahas also I have a story. So I'll probably introduce that story and then we will all go through that process. So the first friend for any child is a mother. Right? Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
Your mother is your best friend, right? Yeah. Maybe about 2 years back. Now I'm sure you'll have other good friends. Yes.
And Amba Mandahasa, that means the mother with a smiling face.
Correct. So I'll just give you a little story for that. So there are times when you have made mistakes. All of us have made mistakes. And the mother is angry with us. Okay. And so then you tiptoe into the house okay, wondering, oh my God, what is my mom going to say? And you enter and you seeing her face itself, you know that she knows what I've done. Somebody else must have come and complained. Okay, and so then you say, Amma, sorry, Amma, please, Amma. No? Right? So then Ma said, you don't bug me, I'm very disappointed with you. Okay, and you say, Amma, please, Amma, sorry, now I told, now what I'm supposed to do? Okay, and so then, you are just moving from this end, that end, and then you start tickling her, to make her laugh, and seeing the way you are kind of making her, one light smile just passes off on her face, and you notice that. Okay, and at that time you sing, yeah, give me one more thing. Amba mandahasa vadani manohari sai jagat janani. We'll go through that and then we will sing the bhajan. So, moment you see, yeah, you can give me just a little more. Right, so you're seeing that, Amma, I saw. Okay, and then so now she knows that you have seen her smiling. Okay, and then she becomes serious again. And so then you say, Mata. Please, Mama. Mata Jagat Janani. Please, Amma, please, don't. So then she is actually, now it's reaching her heart, but she gets up and she walks into the kitchen saying, hey, leave me. So then you start, Jagat Janani, Shubha Karini. You never blast me, you're always doing Shubha only to me, no? Jagat Janani, Shubha Karini, Sai Jagan Mata. That last line, it's like, please, Amma. Satya Sai Jagan Mata. And now the mother is melted and she hugs you and then you say, Satya Sai Jagan Mata. Thank you so much, right, for giving me this love and embracing me once again. Right? So now we'll use this. All of us will think of our own mothers and put Swami in our mother's face and let's sing this bhajan. Amba Bhani Manohari Sai Jagat Janani. Manohari Sai Jagat Janani. Mata Jagat Janani. Sai Jagan Such a beautiful, the whole experience changes, isn't it? So, yeah, you can build stories like that with it. Anything else? Some
Bhajans.
I have. So, if you could talk a little bit about how your journey to the Prashanti Mandir Bhajan group was, and the experiences you had with Swami while you're getting into the Bhajan group, the challenges you faced, and then the second part is, what was the first bhajan? If you could sing the first bhajan you rendered in front of Swami.
Very frankly, I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't have much of a challenge entering into the Bhajan group. Because I used to sing in the Vrindavan Bhajan group, the Sevadan group. So yeah, I just started singing. I mean, one day they took up my name to Swami and Swami said, yeah, let him sing. And then, yeah, so Swami used to always identify me with singing bhajans. And so I didn't have much of a challenge. But ever since I've joined the bhajan group, I have learned a lot. I've almost kind of remade myself entirely. Because I would see, the necessities to practice. Absolutely, I mean, without a doubt, intense amount of practice, and yeah, learning new bhajans, singing a particular line in a particular way and not singing it in another way. So I can tell you probably, one of the challenges, this is a really technical thing, I'm not sure whether you like it or not. So there were so many things that I used to give extra touches. So someone, it was like Ravi Kumar sir. So he was the one who told me, you're giving unnecessary touches. Why don't you just simplify it? Just sing it, And he would often tell me, listen to Lata Mangeshkar ji, Lata ji, because if you actually listen to her, she hardly gives any touches. Only very little wherever it is necessary. So, so we keep listening to good singers and we try to, so he simplifies a lot of things, for me. He says, so don't give this touch, give this touch, or those kind of things. So, and my personal, so as a bhajan singer, I have gone through a lot. Means after becoming a bhajan singer, not while getting into bhajan singing. One great thing that I think this story everybody knows, like how Swami stopped me from singing.
Watch the video.
Right. I mean, I keep telling this story to everyone. I'm not sure whether here also probably a majority of them know the story. Okay, so when we were when I was doing my second year post graduation, it's called second PG, that is second post graduation. So we are like the senior most students in the university. Okay, and so when we are in the senior most students, Swami also gives us a lot of chances because it's like the final year. So oftentimes, he would ask me to sing. Like, so the mic will be with someone else, but he will tell me to sing. So those are the moments when you think that, wow, God wants me to sing. So I've kind of reached that top 3 list or top 5 singers list. And so everything goes up, the hair starts to stand up, and you begin to feel that, yeah, you are like Asthan Vidwan, you are the chosen singer. And probably the biggest challenge a singer has is ego. Not probably, it is. Especially if you're a good singer. Okay, and it's such a dangerous, and in fact it's a positive obstacle. It's a spiritual obstacle that is is put into this thing, which is probably the most difficult to overcome. Right? So he would ask me to sing, and so we had started to believe that bhajans in Prashanti bhajans cannot happen without us. So there would be some days when I wouldn't be in mandir, and next day Swami would ask, "What happened? You didn't come yesterday." So, oh, God is missing me. There are days such like that also. So it was one of the days when I was, I was slotted to sing the 7th bhajan. And so that those days how Swami would, tell how the bhajan would end is, if Swami is sitting inside the bhajan hall, he will move his footrest. The moment the footrest moves, it's aarti time. Okay? So he will not say anything else. So you just have to see his feet. So the next singer has to continuously watch his feet. If his feet don't move, you start the next bhajan. Otherwise, it's aarti time. So it's not like some Subramanyam or you look at time and all that. So anytime, some days he'll sit for 15 bhajans, some days he'll sit for 7-8 bhajans. Typically it used to be 7 to 8 bhajans. Between the 7th and 8th bhajan. So if you're singing the 7th bhajan, kind of keep an eye. If you're singing the 8th bhajan, it's almost sure you will not get the chance. Okay, so watch out for Swami's feet kind of thing. And if he would sit outside, the brass railing that used to be there, he will just stretch out his hand to hold. So that means Aarti should start. So that Pujari, after 4th bhajan, he'll be sitting with a matchstick and matchbox. Waiting. The moment the hand comes, there are some days when Swami will by mistake move his leg. By mistake means he just want to be a little more comfortable. Okay? I'll find the light of Aarti. Very funny times it is. So just imagine Swami will say, hey, I don't want to get up now. And he'll be sitting and dousing the fire. So we'll give him some kerchief or something like that. He'll just douse off the fire because it's camphor, it just lights so fast. So lots of funny things have happened in Mandir. Prashanti Mandir Bhajan, that's why singing in Swami's presence is very difficult. Because there are days now, so he'll be putting talam. So generally the last line in the second speed we sing twice, right? Yeah. But if after the first time if Swami stops putting talam, you stop it. Right? So you cannot close your eyes and sing. You have to open your eyes and sing. And that is scary. Because suddenly in the middle, Swami will look at you. You just imagine somebody looking at you and you are singing whatever bhajan you are singing, Just imagine you are singing something like Daya Karo Shiva Gangada. So you are pouring your heart out and he is looking at you like this. Like you will be wondering, make some good face here. Right. So I was singing the 7th bhajan and that day, one of the days, and after 6th bhajan, Swami took Aarti. The next day, I was started to sing the 6th bhajan, and after the 5th bhajan, Swami took Aarti. The following day, I was singing the 5th bhajan, and after the 4th bhajan, Swami took Aarti, very early. Everybody was wondering, why only 4 bhajans? So generally, when such a thing happens, our bhajan coordinator, the one who fixes bhajans, is a saint, an absolute saint. He has these long antennas. They'll be catching all the signals. Okay, these all Swami signals. They'll be catching. Who is the kind of the guy who before whom Swami is getting up. So he had noticed that 3 days over, and just before my bhajan, Swami is getting up. So I knew that day I'm going to get one Gyan session, small, we call it Gyan, hammer session. Kind of he'll come and say, hey, be careful. Okay, the focus is on you. All of us are seeing you. Kind of, because Swami will not tell why he is doing it. That is how Avatar is, that is how God is. He'll make you go through your own journey process. He does no free lunches, even with God. He will just give codes. He'll give signals. You have to catch the signal, and then your processing starts. Signal processing starts. So that day, immediately after bhajan, I ran off because I didn't want this Gyan session. I knew it is coming because 3 days over, exactly before my bhajan, Swami is getting up. So the next day, I was slotted to sing Ganesh. Okay, so as I was sitting, so sir said, you sing Ganesh. So in my mind I was thinking, ab kahan bhag jaoge? Where can you run? You can't run unless you hear me. 4 days you have escaped. Okay, 3 days you have escaped. Okay, 4th day now you can't escape. This was one of the thought process that was going on in my mind. That day the bhajans were outside, means not inside bhajan hall, they were outside in Kulwant hall. Where Swami Samadhi now is. Swami would sit there, all of us know. So, sitting, but okay, that day, out of the blue, Swami called 4 speakers to speak. Okay, and he would do that. And it's not something like completely out of the blue. So after Vedam, Swami said Vedam stop, and then Swami just called some random speakers to speak. Okay, so I was watching. Okay, the time. Each one spoke for about 15-20 minutes. So it was an hour. So Swami had sat long enough. So I said, maybe there will be no bhajans today. Okay, even if there are no bhajans, it's not my fault. Because it could be a chance. See, why should I look at it as my fault? It could be their chances. Swami is giving a chance to them. Correct? So I will not be responsible for no bhajans that day. Okay. So as I'm thinking like this, no, the fourth speaker finishes speaking, and I'm looking at the time, and can you believe what Swami does? Swami looks at primary school children and tells, today you sing bhajans. And it was a shock for me, I never thought of this scenario at all. And that is God. We think that we are Prashanti Mandir, which means we are the only authenticated fellows to sing in Mandir. If God wants, He can get anybody to sing. Right? It is His Mandir, it is His Darbar. In His Darbar, anybody can do. If He gives license, you can do anything. That day, so one small tiny group of 7th class boys got up, primary school boys got up, they sat in front of Swami and tracked bhajans. Swami sat for half an hour. Okay, and you know how children's bhajans are. Okay, with due respect to the children here, I remember, and they were ecstatic. It was a chance in a lifetime for those children, to sing bhajans in front of Swami. And I was completely stumped. Because, oh my God, God can do anything to teach you a lesson. Needless to say, after that day's bhajan session, I got a half an hour Gyan session, okay, and I was banned from singing. So when generally something like this happens, Sir just says, take off. Just take off. From tomorrow, you don't sing. Okay, and you contemplate. So again, I'm telling you, how much I learned from those days. I didn't learn that much when I was singing in front of Swami. Okay, so every day I would sit at the back of the bhajan group, not in the front, which is I thought my usual position. You come to the bhajan group and then back. So you go back and sit. Okay, and after that, every single day Swami would sit for 10-15 bhajans. But I will not be singing. Okay. So every day I would sit, and every day as the bhajans would get over and I would walk back to hostel and I would cry. Because one more, and that to my final year, I don't have many more months left, to sing. And, that churning process, and so I would go back to the hostel and I would, go to the music room and take the harmonium, and I'll have my own singing session with Swami. Okay, saying, you can't, you may escape me in Mandir, you can't escape me here. You were telling, about how do I miss Swami? So, the Mandir, the physical Swami can miss me, but this guy who's seated in my heart, you can't run away anywhere. Where will you go? Here, I've captured you here. So I would, kind of sing bhajans in the hostel. And about 40 days I did not sing. Okay, and I don't remember the exact number of days, but one fine day Sir said, okay, today you sing. Okay, today he just said, maybe let us try whether your treatment period is over or not. Right? So that day I was started to sing the third bhajan. And that day also Swami sat outside, and that day Swami called 6 speakers to speak. Okay, and I was like, especially so nervous, so tensed up, what is going to happen? Okay, whether bhajans are going to happen that day, and I remember that day was such a bizarre day because there were no speakers. So generally what would happen is every boy who was a potential speaker would prepare one speech and keep. Just in case Swami asks him today, you should be able to, on the fly, kind of, that's how Swami he trained us in public speaking. Okay, that you should be ready anytime. With the least amount of effort, with the least amount of time given to you, you should be able to give a speech. That day, all the speakers were exhausted. There was nobody who was prepared also for a speech. Okay, and I remember there was one brother, he's even there, even now he's there. He was not at all, Swami called him, speak. So Swami, I am not speaker, Swami. I don't know. I don't want to speak. And I said, no, yedo koncham maatladu. Speak something. And Swami, and I remember he telling, his speech, was Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. He is full, we are full. Okay, all of us are full. We full have come from that full. Okay, and though this full has come from that full, all of us are full. My heart is full. Jai Sai Ram. Literally, I remember that talk because I was like, what the hell is this? This just lasted like 2 minutes, his speech. Okay, and Swami was so thrilled with it. And I was just so, in my mind, I was thinking, are you trying to, am I the reason why these guys are getting chances? But then one more, crazy, stupid thought came in my mind was that, so if today also bhajans don't happen, it's not my problem. Because there are 2 more guys in front of me. Maybe somebody else's treatment is starting today. So it could be somebody else's, the first 2 guys who are in front of me, they are also equally responsible, for the bhajans not happening. So after 6 speakers, 1.5 hours Swami has sat. After that, Swami says, Swami looks at the bhajan group and says, "Rendu bhajan. We'll have 2 bhajans." Okay. And in my mind, I was thinking, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just lift this one more finger? How much effort does it take to remove one more finger? You know very well I'm slotted 3rd. Okay, and that's it, intense amount of prayers, broadcasting it to him at full bandwidth, that day, that entire 5G or whatever you call it, soup it's going, and I said, Swami, today if I don't sing, I'm going to sink, not sing, I'll sink, because that's it, I will never be able to sing in front of you again. Okay, and intense amount of just Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, continuous prayers. Okay, and that day I was going to sing Allahu Akbar, Allah,
I saw that video.
Did you?
I saw one video.
Okay, in which I was telling the story? Okay, yeah. So, so that was the 3rd bhajan, and the 2nd bhajan got over, and Swami's hand went out, and my heart sank, because I knew it is Aarti time, and Pujari ji had even put the Aarti, and with the other hand, he says, let's have one more bhajan. Okay. And he stood for the entire bhajan. Okay, and that was a time when actually Swami had, pain in his hip. And he stood for the entire bhajan, and I sang, for me, Allahu Akbar that day really happened. Because Allahu Akbar means Allah the Great. And my Allah was standing in front of me. And oh Allah, you are great. Okay, and Swami, nothing. Okay, there is no physically, no, acknowledgement that, I have listened to you, nothing. Usually he'll just see who is singing, kind of, and if he feels like smiling, he'll smile or whatever. That's all happened, and he just swayed that, that divine sway that only he can generate. He finished that, and then he looked at the Aarti and he says, now we'll have Aarti. And after that day, actually fellows came and, oh, Amey, terrific, yaar, Swami stood for your bhajan. Okay, means people came and patted me that day, but only I knew what had happened that day. Okay, only I knew that for my sake, Swami was ready to take up physical pain. But that is the extent to which he goes. To teach us a lesson that this is how I want you to be, and I will do anything that is necessary to ensure that happens. I will take pain upon myself, but you better learn that. And so this was one of the big lessons in my life, that this is just his gift. Right? So when we say Mukam Karoti Vachalam, let us also remember Vachalam Karoti Mukam also can happen. If a dumb person can speak, a speaking fellow can also become dumb by his grace. Right? So let me not take, I'm done actually. Let me not take that into, that I am a good singer. Let us be humble, because that is the path that Swami wants us to. Right? Okay, so we'll have a couple of bhajans and then we'll end. Sorry, I have taken so much time.
No, we can have more than couple.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock already. Okay.
We can have.
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar. Yes.
We can have 3-4 bhajans.
3 bhajans? Okay.
Maybe 4.
4.
Somebody had asked for Hum Sab Milkar Mangal Gaye, so shall we do that? See? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu पिता प्रभु अल्लाह अकबर श्री साईं बनी साईं
Two more.
हम सब मिलकर मंगल गाए हम सब मिलकर मंगल गाए साईं भगवान सत्य साईं भगवान सत्य साईं सब सुख जीवन साईं भगवान सब सुख जीवन साईं भगवान सब दुख हरना साईं भगवान सब दुख हरना साईं भगवान सत्य स्वरूप साईं भगवान सत्य स्वरूप साईं भगवान हृदय निवास साईं सब मिलकर
I don't know that unfortunately.
Some bhajan, not
Some
bhajan
song?
style song, yeah.
That's it. I love this particular song because it kind of tells us how we should live in our life. And so oftentimes when we do arati, the thought, my way of focusing on arati is I focus on the camphor, and it teaches us a very beautiful lesson. So while the camphor is living its life, it's giving light and it's giving fragrance to everybody. And finally, when the camphor goes, nothing remains. There's no sense of individuality, there's no sense of ego that that I ever existed. But while I lived, while we all live, we just give light. So I love that concept, and so this particular song conveys that feeling, that sentiment. मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है। सूरज ना बन पाए तो बन के दीपक जलता चल, सूरज ना बन पाए तो बन के दीपक जलता चल, फूल मिले या अंगारे, सच की राहों पे चलता चल, सच की राहों पे चलता चल, दिल वो दिल है जो औरों को अपनी धड़कन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है। चलती है लहरा के पवन की सांस सभी की, चलती रहे, चलती है लहरा के पवन की सांस सभी की, चलती रहे, लोगों ने त्याग दिए जीवन के प्रीत दिलों में पलती रहे, के प्रीत दिलों में पलती रहे, अश्कों को दामन देता है, देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है। Beautiful wordings for those who don't know. Madhuban Khushbu, that garden gives fragrance. Sagar Savan deta hai. The cloudy skies, they give us rain. Jeena uska, but they don't ask back for anything. right? No, Swami would often say, be like the sandalwood tree that gives fragrance to even the axe that cuts it. Even the axe that cuts the sandalwood tree, even to that it gives fragrance. Be like that sandalwood tree. We never say thank you to the flowers. We don't say thank you to the clouds. जीना उसका जीना है जो औरों को जीवन देता है. And these are the words of Swami Vivekananda. If that life is not lived for others, it is better to be dead than to be alive, he would say. Only that life can be called a life which lives for others. Otherwise, it is better to be dead than alive. So, Suraj na ban paye to, Swami doesn't want us quantity, right? Suraj na ban paye to, ban ke deepak jalta chal. Be like that candle or be like that flame, which gives light to everyone. So, Fool mile ya angare, whether you get flowers, bouquets, or whether you get brickbats, walk on the path of. So it's a beautiful song which I like. Thank you. So thank you so much. I am so sorry. I did not notice the time. It's already 9:30. You all have a working day tomorrow. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, first of all, this is how Swami works. He sends us gems like you to our center, and we all stand to benefit. I mean, we could have gone on for hours had it been a Friday night. I would say, no, stay, don't go. But we really appreciate that you came here and gave us a small glimpse of what Swami is for us. Many times you may say something that you may not even know what it does to some people, right? But something may have the most profound influence on people. And that is the beauty of how Swami sends his message through you. We really appreciate you taking the time. We also thank Srinivas and his family for
Brahman?
Yeah.
We'll do Brahman. I think everybody's focused on that. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।